Hello there, everyone. This is Mr. D coming to you with another stage of my Pathfinder honors, the AY honors of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm a master guide, and I'm putting together the various honors to help instructors and clubs be able to provide more versatile honors for the youth that come in, all directed and wrapped around God, of course. And this is the one of the many that if you haven't seen the earlier ones, you might look for earlier ones than this. This is stage 8. This is part of the start of doing the practical hands-on. 1 through 7 were for more or less theory, what different things of tie-dye were and how they may be utilized or used. Well, this one, number 8, prepares for hands-on on number 9, where we go crazy and wacky. So let's go over this section. Oh, and if you have not yet, please mark my subscribe button down in the lower right-hand corner. All right, we'll see you there. Here we go. Let's fly on down the pathway. Let's get to it. This is my webpage, and I'm sure some of you have already been told many times and many times before that this is mrdstories.com on the internet. And it's under the tab called Honors and Tie-Dye. And this honor for section, which is stage 8 that I'm doing, has to do with creating possible patterns that we would like to utilize in this learning process. So it starts off with getting some tissue, which right at the moment, I'm not getting you any tissue. That's going to come up on number 9, and we're going to go through kind of each of the individual kind of potential patterns and get a feel and the fun of all of it. So at this moment, imagine you had a piece of paper and you're going to fold it, and we'll try to do a kind of virtual mind level. Once this tissue has been folded, color it with a marker, then unfold it to see the results. Well, I wasn't quite sure how they wanted to do that because doing the different kinds of patterns required a different kind of marking. So as I went through it, I kind of took that an idea. And videos, when I do offer a video that gives you a sample and stuff like that, then you should follow it up by following that video. So let's see what we got here. Okay, the first one that I went over was a bullseye type of pattern. You know, you go to the bullseye, let's see. We're going to go down here so you can see what they look like. Here's samples of bullseye. See how you see the dot in the middle? All of these are bullseye samples, okay? And this bullseye sample, they take the fabric and they pinch it like if you had a cloth and you hung it down like a ghost, and you were pinching the top, that would be your pinch, and you would run your fingers kind of down like this, down the outfit, okay? And when you pull it upward into a cone shape, guide the fabrics with your other hand. Wrap rubber bands as you go down. Now, I believe I have a video on this pattern. It's called the video of eyes. YouTube has all kinds of good stuff on. Gotta wait for it to come up. You know how this stuff on the internet seems to run. Come on. Here we go.
Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab.
Hold on a second.
Let's make a bullseye shirt today.
Hold on a second.
I've washed my shirt just to get out any sizing or anything that might be in the shirt. Then I've soaked the shirt in a soda ash solution for at least 20 to 30 minutes. I wrung it out really well, and so it's just barely damp. I've also turned the shirt inside out. I'd like to put the bullseye right in the center of the shirt, so we need to find the center of the shirt. And to do that, I'm going to fold the shirt in half. Once I have the shirt folded in half, I'm going to fold it in half the other way. So I'm going to grab the bottom or the hem of the shirt and fold it up to the neck or the top of the shirt. That center point is the center point of the shirt. So I'm going to use a washable marker and make a mark right there.
That seems pretty simple, guys. Fold it like in squares so when you open it up, it's in the center. See?
Then I'm going to unfold the shirt.
Otherwise, you could guess. I suppose you could guess and come up with the same thing.
And use my fingers to pinch that mark that I just made. Then I'm going to lift the shirt up off the table and just let it fall naturally. I'm going to use some rubber bands to make the rings of my bullseye. I'm adding the first rubber band where I'd like the center of the bullseye to start. The further down the shirt I place this rubber band, the larger that first center circle is going to be. Then I'm going to continue to add rubber bands on down the shirt to make the rings of the bullseye. You can add as many rings to this bullseye as you want to. You can make them as far apart as you want to. You can make them very uniform if you'd like to measure them out and make them all exact. You can do whatever you want to do with your shirt. Okay, so let's start applying the dye. Right on the very end or the center of the bullseye, I'm adding wholesale pink from Custom Colors. The next section is Amethyst from Dharma Trading Company. Plum Blossom from Dharma. The next color is Fuchsia from Dharma. Wisteria from Dharma. I had a variety of pinks and purples mixed up for a couple other projects, so I'm combining them to use them on this shirt. The next color is Iris from Pro Chemical and Dye. In the next three sections, I'm going to start repeating the colors. I'm beginning with Wholesale Pink, followed by Amethyst, and ending with Plum Blossom. Then I'm going to turn the shirt over and repeat the same color pattern on the back side. A helpful tip is if you're using a bunch of colors like I am on this shirt, when I place the colors back down on my table, I place them in the order that I'm using them. That way I can just grab the next color in line and I won't get them mixed up. If you're wondering where I purchased my dyes, there's a link down below in the description for this video which shows the dye colors that I used and where I purchased them. There are also links for quite a few of the other items that I use when I tie-dye. Each of these sections is pretty thick, so I'm trying to make sure I add plenty of dye to get good color saturation. I'm using my hands to press on and squish some of these areas to see whether or not they feel full of dye and fully saturated. I'm going to put the shirt aside and allow it to process in a warm room that's at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit for 24 hours. To rinse the shirt, I took the shirt to my utility sink and I began rinsing it in cold water. I'm rinsing it in cold water to get out any of the soda ash that's left in the shirt. Then I'm going to untie the shirt and continue rinsing the shirt in hot water to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the shirt. I'm going to continue rinsing the shirt until the water is almost clear. Then I'm going to put the shirt in the washing machine along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent and use a hot water cycle to wash the shirt. After the shirt was washed and dried, this is what it looks like. So what do you think? Do you think it looks like a bullseye?
What do you think, guys?
I have.
Okay, there's my first demo here on this page about bullseye. Now, the thing to remember, it didn't cover what you had to do to get ready. It kind of just told you kind of how to do it. The thing you got to remember is that we have to prepare it. We have to use the ash soda, and we have to use the urea. Bullseyes involve a central point, as you saw, where they pinch. Well, another pattern that has been mentioned in this honor was stripes. Oh, look, we got a couple more links. So this thing also talks about bullseye. See, it shows you some samples and stuff like that. So you should go out and look at that. And this one here, bullseyes, is illustration of more stuff with the bullseye that you can look at. Different kinds of shirts and stuff. So I have some references in there. So from this point, we're going to go down and we're going to pick on another spot. So hold on a second. Let me step out. And we're going to go back in. And we're going to do stripes. And I have here a little link to stripes. Let's see what that first takes us to. See, the stripes are like this. They go across and so forth. And this one has some samples on it too. See how they stretch it? And this one, they don't look for a center point. They just stretch it. So it doesn't matter how you do it. It looks like the stretching pretty much is, it's up to your thing as long as you stretch it across. The other one, you're pinching it and you're pulling in a different direction. And we're going to try both these, by the way. And I think there's a tutorial right here on it. And I think I made this as a default. Let's see where it takes us. This
Hi, I'm Kristen Thompson with I Love to Create, and today I have a fun and easy tie-dye technique just for you. But before we can get to our fun, we have to prep. Always pre-wash your fabric to remove any sizing. Next, a flat covered surface, gloves to protect your hands, an apron to protect your clothes, and we're ready to roll. So now that we're prepped and ready to go, I want to show you how to do the folding technique. First, let's start by filling up our dye with some water. And what I like to do is only fill it up halfway first, put my top back on,
Not sure about
and then
this
give it a good
part.
shake.
We're going to play with this.
And this just helps the dye to dissolve a little bit faster inside the bottle. Give it a little shake and then come back. Add the rest of our water up to our black wine. Give it another little shake. So now that that's all shaken up, we're going to come over here and I'm going to show you how to do the folding part. Now, I personally like to fold my shirts once they've been dried after they've been pre-washed because it just is a little bit easier. But if you like, you can go ahead and make sure your shirt is damp before folding.
Dry or wet.
Since I'm folding on a dry shirt, I'm going to, after I get it all rubber banded, toss it in a bucket full of water just to re-wet it because we always want to make sure that our shirts are damp when we're applying our dye. So in order to fold, we're going to start this way because I want my stripes to go across like this. So I would turn my shirt on its side and begin folding on one side. I'm going to come up, kind of give it a little press with your fingers, bring this one back on the sleeve, and then you're just going to pick your shirt up a little bit and keep folding it over like a little accordion.
Like this, like a fan. Like
and now we're ready to rubber band. So we're going to take this rubber band and we're going to start at one end and go in about roughly 2 inches and then just wrap it around. And you just keep going until you've got your shirt all the way up to the top. So I'm going to start at the bottom with one color. And you just squeeze it on just like that. And you can leave a little bit of space. I like to leave a little bit of space in between my rubber bands just to give me a little brighter white. You can go about 3, and then you can move into your next color. You don't have to stop at 3. You can keep going. You can have a majority of the shirt one color and then just a couple of lines of another color if you like. Now, because we want to get the dye on the other side, we're just going to take our shirt and very gently roll it and repeat what we did the first time. So starting at the bottom, leaving a little space. Once you've got your shirt filled with the color, go ahead and either wrap it in plastic or you can put it in a plastic bag. Let it sit about 6 to 8 hours. You'll cut off all your rubber bands, give it a good rinse, and there you go. A fun folding tie-dye technique.
So that link right here, full-side tie-dye pattern, is a tutorial of that. I'm not sure what this one is pattern before. Oh, it's the samples and the video at the beginning of both sides. We watched that already. Now this one has to do down here with stripes. I think, I'm kind of mixed up here. I think that's what we just watched was the stripes. Yeah, we watched the stripes and these both sides were all part of that. And then we come down here. This video is really good. I have to say that on stripes and stuff. So we look at how they can do it horizontal or vertical and create small spaces between the folds. Well, spiral is like the other two. You have the preparation, you have the ash, the soda ash, you have all that, which we're going to cover more so in the next section where we're going to actually do it. I'm going to re-edify the importance of each of those. But this, I have a link down here that shows a sample of doing the spiral. Now, I didn't think this sample gave you as much of a visual as others, but you can see how it spirals around. And what I can see is they pinch the material kind of like the same way they're doing a bullseye, but they twist it like a hurricane, and they twist it around, and then they go ahead and they dye it. Now, exactly how it's dyed on there, yeah, I think it's up to you and your creativity on how you're going to do it as you squirt the dye on there. But that is a sample of a spiral. And another example, a pattern they mentioned was called a V pattern. Now, this V pattern makes the shirt look kind of V. Now, this one starts off from what I found on the internet to soak it for only 20 minutes. But let's stay to the habit of soaking it in ash, soda ash, for at least 30 minutes, okay? And then let it dry or wring it out. Then you fold the shirt into a V shape, and it gives you that V effect. And in fact, I even think I have a sample. Let's see if this is a sample down here. Okay.
Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a pleated V pattern.
Since this is 13 minutes long, I am not going to pursue this for 13 minutes. But feel free to go out.
Start by centering
and
your
to
shirt using the
look at
sleeve
this
inside the other
through the,
sleeve technique. And this
internet.
is a Gildan soft
If
style
you're at my
shirt,
website, it'll
and I
bring
don't
it
work
right
with
up.
them too
If you're not at
often.
my
But
website,
I'll
this
tell
is
you
a
guys,
more
this
informal
shirt
to you,
really gave me the
and
business.
you won't be able to get the full effect of that YouTube location. Here's another one on how to create a V, unless it's the same one. It might be the same one. Oh, it's a different. But I believe I've included all of these links. We're going to check in a minute out on my master data file PDF. But again, you can't get to it unless you go to the website. Another pattern is called the random. I have a video for that, and I picked a random. I mean, this could be many different kinds, but so happily on here, this is one style of a random type of pattern that you might want to pick up. Kind of a really neat output, you know, what it makes and the final product, wherever it gets done loading. Okay, and and you can leave the shoulders alone and have these smaller colors if you want to. So you can find all kinds. This one in the random, it talks about this category can hold several different patterns, the majority of which have nothing to do with each other. They could be a combination or they can be a chaotic as bundling the item as to be dyed to resemble a plucked chicken. I think that's what that when we just watched it. I read this where you become creative, just like God. You know, when He created us, He didn't make any of us the same. By the using of a mixture of different patterns that are available for you to follow, come up with one of your own. So this section 8, is to inform you about the different patterns. Remember the patterns about the both side. Remember the pattern about strips, stripes, spirals, V's, and random. I would have to say that going into 8 and keep preparing for number 9 is very important, because number 9 is going to be where we are going to actually make somebody. That's the last stage of this honor. Now, all of you remember the first 7 covered the preparation and the getting prepared with the equipment and also how to take and maybe adjust our colors to maybe our fancies or desires. So I hope that you're ready for the next stage, stage 9. And if so, I will be there waiting for you. And please mark the subscribe button, and may God be with you.